With that, I yield to the ranking member, Stansbury, for her opening statement.
All right, well, thank you, Madam Chairwoman. As you can see, it's going to be an interesting hearing today. Welcome to the Oversight Committee, and in particular, the DOGE Subcommittee. I do want to say welcome to our guests and to your families. We do appreciate all of you coming here to tell your stories. But I want to make clear that this hearing is actually not about oversight or DOGE, but about spreading hate and using trans lives to distract from the real issues that Americans are facing, from attacks on our economy, to attacks on our democracy, to attacks on our communities. So let's call this hearing what it actually is. It's about bullying trans kids and members of the trans community to distract from the failed policies of the Trump administration, the failed policies and exploitation of this DOGE subcommittee, and the GOP's own cruel agenda that is happening right now here on Capitol Hill as they're trying to gut Medicaid, gut food assistance, gut environmental programs to give tax breaks to billionaires, because that is actually what's going on behind these doors all around us. So, as the ranking member of this subcommittee, let me start by saying to everyone in the trans and LGBTQ plus community who might be watching or listening today that we see you, we love you, we respect you, we are fighting for you, and we will fight back against this hateful agenda. Now, I do want to point out here at the outset that we are, in fact, in the Oversight Subcommittee on, quote unquote, delivering on government efficiency. And this is a committee here in Congress that was created this year by the GOP, supposedly to address government efficiency. And this hearing literally has nothing to do with that. In fact, it has nothing to do with anything that falls under the Oversight and Accountability Committee's jurisdiction. This hearing is so irrelevant to this committee, it's just a complete distraction from what is actually happening in Congress right now. So let's review what this subcommittee is actually supposed to be working on, since my friends seem to have forgotten that. In their own Rule 6 of this committee, this subcommittee shall, quote, have oversight jurisdiction over the federal civil service, including compensation, classification, benefits, federal property disposal, government reorganization and operations, transparency, performance, grants management, and accounting measures generally. That is the jurisdiction of this committee. And I don't know about any of you, but I don't see anything in here about sports, the Olympics, Title IX, fencing, and certainly nothing about policing the bodies of Americans. And frankly, hearings of this subcommittee have become so divorced from reality or anything resembling oversight and the jurisdiction of this committee, it's basically turned into a political campaign ad, as you just saw on these TVs. That's what this subcommittee has devolved into. And frankly, I think many of us expected that that's where we would end up. But meanwhile, Donald Trump is letting Elon Musk and his cabinet secretaries and OMB now continue to dismantle our federal agencies, to hack our private data. They're firing veterans and teachers and firefighters. They're trying to break Social Security and the VA. And there is literally no oversight happening here in this committee under the GOP. In fact, my colleagues have failed to bring even a single administration witness here to this committee. They haven't brought Elon Musk, they haven't brought a cabinet secretary, they haven't brought a political, they haven't brought anyone to this committee to answer to the lawless and immoral behavior that's happening inside the administration or anything that relates to the jurisdiction of this committee. That's why, even though we had hoped on the Democratic side for real and meaningful bipartisan work to make the government more efficient, to make it work better for Americans, we have to sit here week after week and fight back against this abusive and lawless and ridiculous agenda. And, I want to just point out that there are now over 220 lawsuits against the Trump administration and over 130 court restraining orders and injunctions against them because of this agenda. So why did the chairwoman decide to call this hearing today? Why is it that we're trying to distract from an agenda that is so unpopular that 2/3 of Americans disapprove of what Doge and Elon Musk is doing? Maybe it has something to do with the failure of the president in the first 100 days, that his approval ratings have declined by 14%. Maybe it's to distract from the reality that our economy is tanking and prices are going up. Maybe it's because the budget that came to Congress last week doubles down on proposals to take food out of the mouths of children. Maybe it's because behind closed doors all around us, they're trying to take away your Medicaid and your food assistance. So why bully trans kids? Why take up airspace to bully a population that only makes up 0.6% of the population? Because clearly they're living rent-free in the GOP's minds. But simply put, Republicans are focused on the wrong 1%. So why are they so obsessed? Why is Trump attacking trans people? Why is this the centerpiece of the Republicans here on Capitol Hill? Honestly, it's weird and it's wrong. And I just want to say to all of the people in the trans community who are watching, we uplift your stories. We are fighting for the community. We are fighting for the rights of everyone in our communities. And this hearing has absolutely nothing to do with the Oversight Committee. And that is why, at this time, I make a motion to immediately adjourn this hearing.
Okay. The motion is not debatable. All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no.
No.
In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it, and a recorded vote will be asked for. The clerk will call the roll.
We will pause for the clerk to be ready.
Yeah, we'll pause for the clerk. A recorded vote is ordered. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Cloud.
No.
Mr. Cloud votes no. Mr. Fallon. Mr. Timmons. Mr. Timmons votes no. Mr. Burchett. Mr. Burchett votes no. Mr. Burleson. Mr. Burleson votes no. Mr. Jack.
No.
Mr. Jack votes no. Mr. Gill. Mr. Gill votes no. Mr. Comer. Mr. Comer votes no. Ms. Norton.
Yes.
Ms. Norton votes yes. Mr. Lynch? Mr. Lynch votes aye. Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Mr. Garcia votes yes. Mr. Cassar?
Yes.
For the matter of this DOJ Subcommittee hearing regarding USA fencing, hearing to Chairman Greene, and the Subcommittee on Delivering on Government Efficiency. This hearing is directly under our jurisdiction. Without objection, Representatives McLean of Michigan, Mace of South Carolina, Crane of Arizona, Randall of Washington, Jacobs of California, and Simon of California are waived on to the subcommittee for the purpose of questioning the witnesses at today's committee hearing.
Madam Chair, a point of parliamentary inquiry.
What's your inquiry?
Could you please further expound about how this falls under the jurisdiction of the this subcommittee and the rules?
Ms. Stansbury, under Committee Rule 6A2, Chairman Comer of the Oversight Committee has referred responsibility for this hearing to the DOJ Subcommittee hearing regarding USA fencing.
So Chairman Comer is changing the rules so that now fencing hearings fall under Department of Government Efficiency?
Okay, this is the rule book right here, Ms. Stansbury. I'm sure you have a
Okay,
copy
can
of it.
you read us
The
part
number
that
two,
refers fencing to this subcommittee?
Number two, in addition, each subcommittee shall have specific responsibility for such other measures or matters as the chair of the committee refers to it. And this is the hearing that we are having jurisdiction over. It's an important issue that biological men stay out of women's sports, and we'd like to hold the hearing on that today, and we're going to continue and go ahead. I'm pleased to introduce our witnesses today.